thing. Okay. That is to provide you know with a clearer direction for this school year on what is our processes, no, what steps you are expected to follow before signing, no, before we will be signing all your manuscripts, your hardbound copies of your manuscripts. Okay, so we don't want same concerns to happen in the previous years. Who among you here are incoming level 3 students? Can you do thumbs up? Okay, so for the incoming level 3 students, okay. So thank you so much for really joining us. I have seen all your faces, no? Those who turned on your cameras. So talagang andun yung excitement ninyo, no? Wow, magti-thesis na po kami din. Okay, so for this year, I know some of you napaka na kayo, no? Na excited na po kayo. And we are maximizing our time. As healthcare professionals, magaling tayo sa planning, pagdating din sa execution, sabi nila. So, yung previous year, last school year, no, that's school year 2022-2023, your panelists and you yourselves defended your thesis, yung mga level 4, incoming level 4, you defended your thesis up to December 23, right? December 23, when others are already enjoying their vacation, I myself, together with Ma'am Reza and other panelists and other instructors, are still taking time, reviewing your manuscripts, and you are also defending your thesis. But this school year, we don't want that to happen. That is why we are asking the cooperation of all the program heads, and it was being discussed with them that we need to really strategize in order for us to have enough time to review all the different manuscripts and to sit down with all the different groups. So we are expecting for around 70 or more research groups this year, this school year. So with that 70 groups, remember that during the proposal defense, we are not going to just have you, okay, this is approved, no? But for those who are done with their thesis, they are aware that it took us around 2 hours or more sometimes for each group for us to guide you on what to do with your paper. So to give more time for all the panelists and to all the members, no, of your department who are working with your thesis, we will start with our proposal defenses starting September. So that is why the BSN program, actually this internal arrangement wherein they had already their advanced classes because they accepted the challenge to have their defense as early as September. So thank you for all our research advisors into the program head. And it will be followed, of course, later on. Ma'am Reza Gabilago will be discussing the different schedules for all the programs. So other programs will follow after that. So that is why all the advisors, after Ma'am Reza later on will provide you also with our research priorities for this school year. You might as well consider that, not in checking all the proposed titles for your group and have it initially approved by your program head, no? And there are some steps also that Ma'am Reza will be sharing with you on the process of title approval, no? Because we don't want duplication or redundancy of certain researches. So I'm done sitting down with Ma'am Reza in relation to our research priorities this school year. And we really appreciated the different programs wherein there is an evaluation or providing us some of the results that somehow will help us in our curriculum implementation. So there are a lot of things that Ma'am Rachel will be discussing later on. I won't be taking that opportunity for her because we have already had our meeting last week in relation to this for this activity, to help everyone prepare for the school year 2023-2024. So ganun po tayo ka-excited. So I hope all of you are excited already to start with your paper. Like si Ma'am Rainian, talagang excited na. Si Ma'am Riza, our advisors. And maybe some of you, like for the nursing department, we're in 3 weeks ago, I think Ma'am Dayan already assigned certain groups. There are also other departments based on my directive to all the program heads to submit already their research groupings, and they have already assigned advisors for each group. So that during your summertime, it's not most of the time that you will be spending that on the beach, or sa beach kayo, or sa kayo sa mountains, nagsige ka muglaag-laag, but then you might as well spend the time reading some articles, journals, books, and working on with your thesis. Okay? So talagang excited na ang mga students natin. Di po ba, Ma'am Rinien? Ma'am Riza, I have seen a lot of research advisors here. Okay. So actually gusto natin talagang enjoy yung mga beaches natin, And maybe Ma'am Aparecio. Are you still in Korea, Ma'am Aparecio? Okay. Okay, just enjoy Korea. And we are also enjoying here in Jensen, Korean restaurants. Okay, so Korean restaurants and Korean stores. Okay, so that's all from me as your EVPA and Dean. So at least we are providing you with direction for school year 2020-2024. O yan, parang like si Ma'am Madeline ngayon, parang excited na rin siya sa pagiging advisor niya. Okay, so thank you so much again, students. Please turn on your cam. I will be getting some documentation while Ma'am Reza is also discussing something, especially with our research priorities, our research agenda, and other matters for this afternoon. Thank you so much, and God bless us all.
Thank you, Dean. Okay, so students, let us start. My presentation includes everything so this is for the students, for the advisors, for the grammarian, and the program head. Let me share my PowerPoint presentation, and then I'll be shifting to different files later. I'll be showing you the different forms that we have sa research office. I hope you can, I am audible and clear yung sinasabi ko. Medyo lang yung boses ko. Okay, sige. Let us start with our research orientation. So this afternoon, we will be talking about the research process, our research format, our institutional format, and then we will be talking about our research agenda or research priorities sa school. And lastly, we'll have the defense schedule. Okay, so let's start with our research process. So this is for all the students and the advisors also, para you will be guided on what to do. So we will start with the title proposal. When I say title proposal, the students will just propose the title and at the same time their SOP. We will no longer require them for a concept paper, but again, title lang siya and SOP. Now, this title and SOP should be approved by the program head, And then once completed, all the titles and the SOPs will be forwarded to the research office for checking, because maybe magkakaroon tayo ng ng duplication sa mga existing studies na. And then once approved by the research office, we will have the final approval by the college dean. So that is the start of our research process. Now, after that, syempre the students will be making their paper, and then we will have our proposal defense. So this coming school year, we will have an early defense para hindi na tayo umabot ng December sa sa mga defenses natin. Now, after the proposal defense will be the REC approval. And that is good for us also sa Research Ethics Committee kasi we will have ample time in the review process of your paper. Kasi maaga yung proposal defense, maaga din ang submission for the requirement ng Research Ethics Committee. Now, once approved, the students may start with their data gathering. And then on the next school year, except for the psychology department, since sila lang yung naiba, second sem yung kanilang proposal, first sem yung kanilang final defense. But for the other programs, on the second semester, we will have our final defense. I'll be showing you the defense schedule for the first semester only later. Kasi yung schedule of the final defenses will be dependent on the title or the research design of the students. Okay, and then after that will be the grammarian checking. And then after sa grammarian checking, we will have our final manuscript revision. So I will be showing you our routing form later. Now, yung mga students dito, since you are done with your final defense, syempre you are in the process now of revising your paper. After revising your paper, you have to have it checked by the panelist, your advisor, and before nyo siya ibigay sa grammarian. And then, pag okay na, magre-revise kayo ulit, and then i-submit nyo siya sa research office for final checking. So, again, later mag-change screen ako for the routing form. Tapusin ko lang siya hanggang 9. Now, pag okay na yung paper ninyo, sa December, sa clearance signing, that will be my requirement sa clearance signing. Yung hardbound ninyo and then yung inyong extended abstract. And then you wait for the schedule for our research forum. So we will still follow the format last semester na the research forum will be per program or per department. Okay, so again, I will show you the routing form. The routing form first, since tapos na dito, yung mga students na nandito tapos na sa final defense. I'll be giving you a copy of this. So you will be, palakihin natin. Okay, so you have to accomplish this before you can have your hardbound. So you are going to, okay, edit na lang this name of proponents, your program or your department, and then right here your thesis title, and then your advisor. Now, this is actually a combination of a routing form and yung parang revision matrix natin. Kasi you will have here the panel member's name, and then kindly enumerate here the comments and suggestions of that panel. And then you have to write here also the action taken, and then please include the page number. Okay, so for example, may pinabago sa inyong research design, you have to write here anong binago sa research design and what page number for easy checking. And then you have to make sure na magpapasign kayo sa panel member. Okay, this is to ensure everyone na there is continuity and there is really validation na nag-revise kayo ng paper ninyo and that the comments and suggestions of the panelists are being followed. So, Kung ilan yung panelists ninyo, padagdag na lang. But since sa school, we most of the time have 3 panelists. That is why I have three here. Okay, so this one is a routing form. You really have to have this signed by the panelist members. And then, pag na-sign na ng panelist, have it signed, naka-number ito ha, meaning step by step ito. So number 1, pasign kayo sa advisor ninyo, checked and endorsed by the advisor para mapasa na siya sa second step, and that will be for the grammarian checking. Okay, so please coordinate with the grammarian. I'll be assigning grammarian pa rin sa inyo para alam nyo kung kanino kayo pupunta. Okay, so ito, papasignan nyo din ito sa grammarian. This is evaluated by the grammarian. And then, syempre, after the grammarian checking, I believe there are things that you need to revise. So you need to endorse it again. Give it again to your advisor and pasign kayo ulit. Checked and endorsed by the research advisor. Pag napasignan nyo na sa advisor ninyo, meaning naka-revise na kayo ng paper ninyo, ang number 4, ipasa nyo na siya sa research office. Okay? Sa research office, I'll just be checking some technicalities. Pero kung nasunod naman yung mga formats, technicalities, mabilis lang naman yung process nito. Na pag nakasign na ako dyan sa research office, last na yung sa college dean. Pag natapos ito lahat ng routing form, that means you are allowed now to have your hardbound. Okay? So yung previous batches, they had their hardbound sa Wilmond. Wala ako nag-advertise. Pero sa Wilmond sila nagpa-hardbound because yung Wilmond yung merong copy ng ating format sa school para sa hardbound. Okay, para merong uniformity. Okay? Do you have questions for our routing form? Baka may gusto kayong itanong. Wala. Again, I'll be giving you a copy of the routing form para if ever you are free this summer, you may start doing it na. Okay? Walang question. Sige. Okay, so let us move on kung wala nang yung mga incoming level 4 that have already submitted their paper for grammarian checking, ihabol nyo na lang yung inyong routing form. When ang final defense? Nursing ito, ang final defense ng nursing nasa second semester pa. We will have your proposal defense sa first semester. Okay? Wala na. Sige, now let's talk about the format. So sa school, we are following the IMRAD format class. So when you say IMRAD, we get away with the last format na merong, yung the usual one, yung may chapter 1, background and its setting, and on chapter 2, wala na siya ngayon for our IMRAD format. We will just have 4 major sections of the paper. I for introduction, M methodology, R is results, and then P is discussion. So let me show you another file here for the IMRAD format. Wait lang. Siya makita. Saan yun? Okay, so please check your paper, and also for the advisors, you can ask a copy of this sa research office for your guidance or for your reference. So again, this is IMRAD format for our student and at the same time sa faculty research natin. And these are the contents of our paper. We have first, syempre, the title page. I have included here some descriptions of what do we expect in a title page. And then we have the approval sheet after the title page, and then the acknowledgements. And then after the acknowledgement, we'll have the abstract. Okay. And then after that, we'll have the table of contents. So if ever you have figures, appendices, and tables, you may add list of figures, list of tables, and list of appendices after the table of contents. And then, syempre, since we are using the IMRAD format, we will have the first major section, and that is the introduction. Okay, but the introduction also includes other subsections like the research question or the statement of the problem, hypothesis or assumption if meron, if applicable, and then significance of the study, the conceptual and the theoretical framework, the scope and the limitations of the study, and lastly, the RRL is included na sa introduction natin. Okay, so that is the last part of our introduction. And then, the second major section of our paper is the methodology. So the methodology section includes the research design, the research local, the sampling technique, research instruments, the ethical considerations, the data gathering procedure, and our statistical analysis. And then, sa proposal defense, you will just have the introduction and the methodology. So we will be completing your paper on the second semester with the last two major sections. That's the results and the discussions. Okay? And then followed after the results and the discussions, we have the references. We are using the 7th edition ng APA style. 7th edition na sila ngayon. If ever you need a copy of the 7th edition, I also have a slide for that, a PowerPoint presentation for that for your reference. Okay, and then lastly, we have the appendices and the curriculum vitae. Now, ito yung format natin ha. Please use Times New Roman, font size is 12, and then double space tayo in making the research paper. Yung mga magsasubmit ng for hardbound na manuscript, please check this na lang para hindi tayo magtagal sa research office. Okay? And then margins should be 1 inch except for the left side, 1.5 inches. Okay? And then the page number should be placed on the upper right side corner of the paper after the running head. All the paragraphs should be justified except for the abstract. For the abstract, we only have one paragraph for everything. It is left aligned, meaning hindi yan siya naka-justify and hindi din naka-indent. Okay, that's for our abstract. Then please use short bond paper for the printing. Okay? And then this is just an example of student research na naka-IMRAD format na. So ito yung title page natin. Hindi nakakapital yung ating title ha. And then let's mute that first. Okay. And then again, followed by the approval sheet, the acknowledgement, and then we have here the abstract. The abstract though, ito, hindi ko pala ito siya na edit. This should not be justified. And then please do not forget the keywords. And then we have the table of contents. And then the list of appendices, the list of figures and tables, or kung plates kung meron. And then as you can see here, we have the introduction. So we will just follow title case capitalization for our headings. So this is heading level 1, title case capitalization lang tayo. And then eto, heading level 2 na siya. So as you can see, naka-left aligned yan siya. The same thing with the other headings. Now eto, for the significance of the study, heading level 3. The difference is naka-indent yan siya, followed by a period, and then after the period na yung description or yung inyong discussion. Okay? So that is true with the other parts of the paper also. So RRL is included in the introduction. And then sa methodology, so sa methodology, ganito pa rin. Okay? Title case capitalization pa rin tayo. And then before I forget, we have here a running page, running head. Running head ito. So this is just parang a shortcut sa inyong title. Okay? So sa tabi siya ng title page. So pa-check na lang. What else? No. Okay, sa references, again, EPA format tayo. Sige, pwede ko i-send sa program heads yung ano nito, files nito, and then you may ask a copy of this from them. Okay, and then appendices. After the appendices, scroll ko na lang ha. Yung last natin, ito since this one is an experimental study, so they have their plates before they have their curriculum vitae sa last. Ayan. So sa last one is curriculum vitae. May I just remind everyone, walang magsa-selfie sa curriculum vitae. I hope formal picture yan siya, and then I hope yan siya ha. Ngayon since malapit na kayong mag-hardbound, napalitan nyo na yung mga pictures nyo dyan, and formal. And at the same time, uniform kayong lahat. Baka yung isa naka-school uniform, yung isa naka-business attire. Uniform kayo. Pwede na kayong mag-school uniform. Naka-school uniform kayo lahat. Single space po yung reference, ma'am. Di lang yun, hindi ko siya na-edit. Ito. Single space yung references. Do you have questions or clarifications about our format? Lana? Sige. Now, let me just show you the REC forms ha. Though tapos na sa REC yung most of the students here, but we have the psychology students who had just defended their proposal last semester. So I am expecting them to submit their REC requirements for review. But this is also for all research advisors para guided na din yung students na after proposal defense, they have to accomplish this and masubmit nila as much as early as possible yung mga requirements para yung review mag-commence din siya ng early, and that we can release the certificates also as early as possible. Para hindi siya magtambak na. Ay, bigay ko ito sa sa program heads ulit yung mga files para you can ask this sa kanila. Or you may email the research office for a copy of these files. Okay? So again, this is our first requirement, the REC application form. Pa-accomplish na lang ito sa mga students. Okay? Hindi naman mahirap ito. And then just give a brief description of the study here. And then pirma nila sa baba. Okay? And then nakalagay dito yung mga basic requirements that they need to submit together with this form. So itong letter request for review, the letter should be addressed to Ma'am Riza Francisco. She is our REC chairman. Okay? And then endorsement letter, this endorsement letter is from the advisor. Okay? Na pwede nang mag-REC review kasi na-revise na yung paper from the proposal defense. And then syempre we need the full proposal paper para maka-review kami. The curriculum vitae of the researchers though, this is already included in the paper, so okay na yon. And then informed consent and the, if applicable, we have here the assent form. And then other documents, if applicable, their questionnaire, yung data collection forms nila, ito depende na siya sa study, product brochure, or permits for special populations. So nandito na sa form yung basic requirements needed for the REC review. Now, aside from that, we have here the informed consent form. Ang i-accomplish lang ng student is itong top part. Ito lang, title of the study, kinikasali yung REC code, and the type of review. Itong principal investigators, the name of the students, ito. Yung the rest, from question number 1 pababa, ang magsasagot nito is yung reviewer, hindi yung estudyante. Kasi ang problema ko last time, pag nagsasubmit sila ng kanilang informed consent na form, sila na ang nagsagot ng form na ito. Reviewer yung sasagot sa mga questions sa baba. And then after that, magkakaroon ng recommendation. Depende kung na-approve or hindi. And then, wait lang ha. The last one, we only have 3 forms sa REC. Ayun. Ito. The most important one is the protocol assessment form. So, the students need to accomplish this one. May mga natatanggap ako last time na they have this protocol assessment form pero nilagay lang nila yung name nila here and they did not fill up this part. So, aside from this part, they have to accomplish this one here. So, this one only. Ito. Hindi kasali ito kasi this is for the comments of the reviewers. So, ito lang. I-check lang nila if yes, meron silang objectives or kung hindi applicable dito sa NA. And if nag-check sila ng yes, they have to write here the page number. So, yun lang naman yung i-accomplish dito. Kasi mahirapan yung reviewer kung hindi ito na-accomplish. Mas mabilis kasi ito lang naman yung hinahanap ng magre-review. The scientific design, yung sa pag-conduct ng study, and then yung different ethical considerations and issues. Yun lang naman ang hinahanap din namin. So, para mabilis, lagay nyo yung page number dyan. Okay? So, ito lang. 3 lang yung ating forms for the REC. Again, if you need the form, you may ask me from the research office, and also I'll give a copy of this sa mga research mga program heads, and if the research advisors also need this. Okay? So yun yung mga forms na you need to accomplish. Now, lastly, yung sa, di ba sabi ko kanina, since you are done with your final defense, you are revising your paper now, on December, I'll be collecting your hardbounds as part of your clearance, and at the same time, your extended abstract. So we will be needing the extended abstract for the publication. So we will have our institutional na journal. Okay? School-based journal natin. We will be publishing your paper. So ito yung guidelines natin for our extended abstract. Okay? So yung extended abstract natin still contains all relevant aspects and information. Kung i-compare natin sa regular research format natin. However, shorter lang talaga siya. Okay? So, subtitles of the extended abstract should compose of abstract and keywords, ang introduction, objective, method, findings and arguments, conclusions, and suggestions. And please take note, ang ipapasa nyo sa akin na extended abstract should be written in English. We are still using the Times New Roman na font, pero this time, single space na tayo. Okay, font size is 11, and pwedeng mag-contain, especially for the results na part, as much as possible, pwede nyo malagay yung tables ng results nyo dyan. And then if applicable, you may have figures and images also. So page margins are 1 inch on all sides. And then please take note, naka A4 ha. Kasi yung ating for hardbound naka short na size. Okay? Letter na size. This time naka A4 siya and should not exceed 2 pages. Pero kung mag-exceed kayo, for example, nag 3 pages kayo, it's okay as long as on the 3rd page yung makikita na lang natin is yung references. Okay lang yun. Okay? So 2 pages from 1,000 to 2,500 words excluding the references. So ifa-follow natin yung template below. And then please take note na naka-2 columns ito. I'll be also showing you an example later. Hindi isasali yung abstract ma'am, pero yung extended abstract hindi na siya kasali sa hardbound. Okay? Sige, and then you have to, I just need a soft copy of this. Actually, please send all the extended abstract to gsdmsfiresearchoffice@gmail.com. So for the template, you have here the title. Please take note of the different technicalities here. Naka-specify talaga yan siya anong font size, naka all caps ba, naka bold. So please take note na lang of this one. And then after the title, let's have the abstract here. And then please take note kung ano yung nakalagay dyan na requirement for your abstract. And then followed by the keywords. And then, after the keywords, we have here the introduction. Syempre, summarized na siya kasi this is just an extended abstract. So hindi na siya kagaya sa original paper ninyo na medyo mahaba yung introduction ninyo. And then please include the statement of the problem here. And then after that, you have the methodology, a summary also, but it should be stated clearly, though it's a summary lang. And then the results, as much as possible, you may include tables ng results ninyo. And then the discussion, and lastly, the conclusion. And then ito yung sabi ko sa inyo na if sumobra kayo, yung sobra na ika-3rd page, pwede na siyang for the references. So I'll show you an example. Wait lang ha. Of an abstract, extended abstract ng previous na batch. Open ko muna. Wala siya na open. Okay, ito. This one. So this one is an output of the previous batch. So as you can see, you have there the title, followed by the names of the proponents or the investigators or the researchers, and then you have the abstract here, and then the keywords. And then followed by the introduction. Ito sabi ko na naka-2 column yan siya dyan. Introduction, the methodology, and then the results. Okay, hindi lang sila naglagay ng table dito. Kasi pinaragraph nila no, pero you may do it. Pwede niyong lagyan ng mga tables dyan, yung results ninyo, and then discussion and conclusion, and yung last page, yung references na. Pwedeng magsobra as long as references na yung sobra natin. Okay? Yun yung hihingin ko sa inyo aside from your hardbound. Okay? Sa December, first semester. Okay, questions for the different format, technicalities, and yung mga forms natin sa REC or clarifications. Baka may gusto kayong i-clarify before tayo mag-discuss. This is for the program heads and the research advisors. Research priorities, though, you can have other topics for research. Bigyan lang po natin ng priority for some groups sa kada program. Itong curriculum implementation, so both sa classroom and sa clinical na setting. And then researches about the public health. And then ito yung hinanap sa atin sa CHED visitation, gender and development studies, GAD na mga studies, alumni-related studies also. Let's give priorities for that also. And then, yung number 5, studies on senior high school students' preferences, and then studies on how can we encourage them to take medical course. Pwede din yun siya. So yan yung mga research priorities that we have identified. Oo. Yung deadline na sinasabi ko na December first semester for the hardbound and the extended abstract, I'm talking about you, kaning mga incoming fourth year students, katong mga natapos na final defense. Yan yun. Kasi yung mga third year, yung mga incoming third year natin, they will have their proposal defense pa lang naman, yung data gathering nila sa second semester pa. Okay, now defense schedule. Okay, this is for the program heads, the different research advisors, and the panelists. Ito yung napag-usapan namin ni Dean na defense schedule. So for the whole September, this is for the BSN. So, mauna yung BSN and mauuna din yung submission of their paper. So, we expect September 4, andyan na lahat ng paper. Whether the group is assigned to have the defense on the second week, the third week, or the fourth week, they need to submit their proposal paper on September 4. So that will be on the start talaga ng month. That is true for all the other programs also. Hindi na siya kagaya dati na yung ibang grupo sa example sa end pa ng October na assign, dun pa rin sila magsasubmit ng paper nila. Ngayon, submit muna lahat, and then we will be revising the defense assessment, and we will include punctuality in the criteria for their grade sa defense. Kasi yung problem namin last time, defense na ngayon, kaninang umaga lang nag-submit ng paper. So let's give time for the panelists also to read your paper, and at the same time sabay-sabay na mag-submit para fair sa lahat. Kasi yung iba nag-chill muna kasi for example nasa end pa ng month yung aming defense, so chill muna sila. Yung iba karakaran na kay first week ang defense nila. So again, to be fair to all, sabay-sabay yung ating deadline ng submission of the paper. Now, on October, we will have the BSMT and the BSPH. Mauna yung MT, tapos first and second week yung MedTech, third and fourth week yung Pharma. And then sa November, you have the BSRT, the BSPT, and nalipat pala itong psychology sa November, yung psych, kasi final defense itong sa kanila. So, pag final defense, mabilis lang din kasi unahin na lang yung mga proposal defenses na medyo madugo compared sa final defense. We are hoping na wala na tayong defenses on December, but la kung mangyari talaga na merong maiiwan na grupo, i-reserve natin yung December for them. But I hope wala na. So let's have it on November now. After the defense, kagaya nung sa September, the nursing students are expected to be done with their defense in September. They can immediately revise their paper and then they can already submit. For example, October, pwede na silang mag-submit for REC review para ma-review na din and ma-release na yung kanilang certificate, hindi magtambak sa REC. And then, since maaga sila makaka-submit sa REC and then yung approval maaga din, they can actually start with their preparations for the data gathering on the first semester. So like they can utilize the months of October, November, in the preparations like yung mga letters nila, letters of permission, pwede na nilang start yon. Okay? Para hindi din sila parang maipit sa time on the second semester. Okay? So I think that's the end of my slide. If you have questions, you may unmute your microphone or you may send your queries sa chat box. Let us wait for the questions kung meron. I'll be sending a copy of this orientation to the BSMT and BSPH students because again, they are not around because of their internship. Yes, I'll be sending a copy of these forms to the program heads. And then you may ask a copy of all the forms sa program heads. Yeah, yung mga tapos na ng final defense, you are done with your REC already. Sa proposal defense, yeah, for the proposal defense until methodology only. But please include the references, the appendices, and the curriculum vitae. The results and the discussion sections, I will have that on the second semester. Anything else? Wala na. Wala na. Okay. I'm hoping on the first semester makalipat na ako sa research office para hindi mo masigig pangita sa kuha. They're always looking for me and then since I don't have an office, most of the time nasa faculty ako. But if wala ako sa faculty, most likely meron akong klase. But on the first semester again, I'm hoping okay na yung office para dun niya na lang ako hanapin for the submission of all of these requirements. And then syempre yung sa clearance. Sa REC, soft copy only. Kindly send that. Ito yung isend ko sa chat box yung email ng research office. Okay. Anything else? Wala na? Sige. So, I think that's it. Kung wala nang question? Concept paper. I think I have mentioned a while ago for the research process, we are not requiring you anymore for a concept paper. Here, we'll just have the title proposal. So all you need to submit is the proposed title with the SOP and then have it approved by your program head. And then pag na-approve na ng program head, research director na, and then after that, the dean. Yun na yung magiging process. Anything else? How about po yung mga grammarian? By the way, for the grammarian, yung BSMT, lahat sila inassign ko na siya kay Ma'am Palapar. So, after yung mapacheck yan, yung routing form, kung na-sign na ng mga panelist and then your advisor, pwede nyo siyang ibigay sa kay Ma'am Palapar, yung mga BSMT students. Okay, and then please do not forget nasa routing form na need ng signature ng grammarian ninyo. And then, yung BS Nursing, nasa kay Sir Ian ito. BSN, nasa kay Sir Ian sila na-assign. Tapos yung BSRT, BSP, the psych, kay Ma'am Tanog, and then ang pharma and ang PT. I actually top Ma'am Namyon last time for the pharma. And isalin na lang natin ang PT. At least how many SOPs required? Depende po sa title nila. Depende na po sa title. Wala po tayong like minimum number kasi depende din naman po sa study nila yung kanilang magiging SOP. Ay, hindi makita. Asa na yung nakog-send? Wait lang. Send ako kanina. Ano yun? Ano ko siya gisend? Okay. Balik. This one. But please check. Okay na? Okay. Sige, okay na. Any question from the grammarian or from the research advisors or program head? Baka meron po kayong gustong itanong. Actually, nasend ko na yung mga files, yung mga forms sa mga program heads, pero baka natabunan na sa email nila. I-send ko lang ulit. Sa email po ako magsisend, mga ma'am. Wala na po. So I guess that's it. I would like to thank the presence of syempre our ever supportive dean and our program heads, our research advisors. Ma'am Riza Francisco is here for our REC review. And then, thank you for listening, students. I hope nakinig lahat para mabilis yung flow natin sa research this coming semester. Okay? Meron pa po bang pahabol na instruction si Dean before tayo mag-end talaga? Siguro. I think that's it. Let me